you only can put your hand out so many times and have someone smack it away before you just stop putting your hand out. And I feel like with a lot of people or situations, and maybe just because I think I'm cool with everybody, I think that's probably one of the reasons. Um, you know, oh, bro, this, bro, that. It's all love. Like, most of the time, it ain't all love, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like the just in case. Like, I'm cool with Juan Moreno just in case him and his platform blow up. Then, hey, we went to high school together, Juan. Remember me, Juan? Like, ooh, or I know your sister, Juan. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not interested in having just in case friends. Like, I want to have genuine people, like, in my life, bro. Like, that can, not only add value. They don't even have to add value. I don't care. Like, be a genuine friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you need to vent to me or talk to me or advice, like, hit me. Like, that's what I'm here for. And if you're just, you just want to be there anytime, like, I might need somebody, or you just want to genuinely be a good person, then cool. But don't put up this facade like, oh, it's brother, you're my brother, I love you, dog, like this, and that. And bro, like, I have other people that you're talking behind my back. You know what I'm saying? When you could have called me direct. I just don't feel right with that. You know what I'm saying? But every time this type of stuff happens, I reevaluate my own circle. So that's a good thing that I'm doing right now is I'm reevaluating my circle, like including family. You know what I mean? Because I feel like there's been a lot of like disrespect dished out, and it hasn't been addressed. So I feel like I need to readdress like who I want in my life going into 2023, because not everybody deserves access to you at all. You know what I'm saying? No one should have access to Juan Moreno just because, oh, I'm your cousin. Remember when I gave you them Starbursts in 2009? Nigga, you stole from me. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I just feel like I feel like I need to. I seen this video where it was talking about like when your blessings kind of halt, you got to reevaluate your whole circle and wonder why you're at a stalemate, because God's holding your blessings back for a reason. So if you want to truly flourish and blossom, you got to find out what's holding you back. So you can't do that by just, sitting there and be like, oh, well, things aren't going how I thought it was. No, see why. Is there something within you like, hey, you're not allocating enough time towards yourself. You're not allocating enough time towards this certain thing, or maybe a relationship, or maybe a friendship. Is that why certain things aren't going as good as they could be? You're not allocating enough time towards your family, your grandparents, whatever it may be. So sit there and even take out a notebook, write it down. Like, okay, where can I be better at? Where can I evaluate and see where I can improve, or where I can improve my circle around me? Because you are the company that you keep. I'm not saying you should, like, everyone around you should be, millionaires, but I'm saying, like, their mentality and, like, the goals that they have for themselves, like, if they have goals and aspirations to do shit and they're actively doing it, and that's the company that you keep, you're going to be on the same tip. But if not, you got everybody sitting around kind of waiting for who's going to be the person to blow up, and we can just, pitch back right on them. Like, you're just going to be another leech.
I did like what you say, like, excuse me, when you were talking about, like, who you allow access to you. Like, one of the biggest, like, profound perspectives I got was to be careful who I let get access to me, at the same time who I'm continuing to try to nourish a relationship with. Because it's so important, too, like, the people that you have in your circle, whether it's family, friends, coworkers or not, or networking. Because those people are going to contribute to how you think and how you move, and kind of how the conversations go with people outside of that circle. And one of the best things I feel that, being mindful of who I let access to me was kind of eliminating, like, that negative energy of, like, certain people, like family. When I think about it, too, it's like the most conflicting relationships I have is usually with my family, like because they've been there for, you know, since you were born, or you always heard stories, or they were so and so back then, or they were, you know, they used to be this, they used to be that, and then now they're in their 40s and they're not that, and they don't have no more ambitions, but they like to talk about like the old stuff. Like that could be you, like if you keep hanging out with those type of people, because, you know, everybody's situation is different and stuff like that, but, you know, to each his own. But do you want to surround yourself with people like that? For me, it's like, if you're just a family man, or, you know, you're a stay-at-home wife, or you work independently, or the man, whatever, doesn't matter, and you're happy with where you're at, I want to talk to those people. But the ones that are always complaining and like talking down on other people, I think that says a lot too. And I don't want to be around that person. I'd rather be the person that's honestly content and happy with what they got, and they don't complain, and they're just trying to be a good family person, or they're trying to elevate in their career field. Like, I respect that than somebody who complains. And so you have to be mindful of like who you do give like access to, because they do influence you. Even if it's like 0.5% or 1%, 5, 10, 20, it could be 100%. Like, they can influence your moves and how you think. So to like give everybody access to you, like, that's a problem. Like, I think that's why it's huge to have boundaries. Like, you don't have to be an asshole to people to like block them, or if you need to, you got to. But like for me, I have people that I know that I don't allow access to me. If I see them, it's love though. Like, I'll give them a hug, handshake, and everything. I'm not being fake. For me, it's just, I'm just being respectful. Like, I already know, like, what's understood don't got to be explained. I don't got to tell them that I don't fuck with you, or hey, I don't want to hang out with you, or I don't want to share bread at the table with you. I think for me, it's like, I know. And sometimes they know too, because they're always trying to hit you up like, hey, what are you doing? And you just keep telling them like, I got other things I got to do. Like, I have other priorities. Like, and you got to be honest, you're not one of that priorities. I do that now too with certain people. Like, they'll hit me up and they'll be like, hey, come do this. Come do this. I'm like, nah, sorry, man, I can't. I got other priorities I got to attend to. And it's not being disrespectful. I got other things that are way more important than going to do that. And like, and that's being respectful too. It's not, I'm not trying to say like, I don't want to hang out with you. I don't want to share time with you. It's more like, there's other things I got to attend to. And like, I think the biggest thing is like your family, like your career, your ambitions, your mental health, taking some time to yourself. Like, nothing's wrong with taking, you know, prioritizing those type of things, especially like, you know, something that happens to your life or a loved one or yourself, really shows like how important it is to like nourish these relationships with yourself or your family or your relationships, because at the end of the day, those people are going to be there like when things get tough or rocky, like those coworkers or these like situational friends, or the ones that kind of see where you're going in life and how things are starting to shape up. They want to like, hey man, you ever go down over here, you can always spend the night, or like, oh hey, don't forget about me when you blow up, or stuff like that. Like those type of people I don't really have time for. Mm-hmm. Like I got other people that I need to tend the garden with, and you're now one of them. Because at the end of the day, those people are going to be at my funeral. Like, those might say something at my funeral. Those are the people that will like look out for me or my loved ones if they ever see them in the street or something like that. Like, you might not, you know, you're just looking at me as a benefit of some way. And so you got to be like very careful. And so for me, it's like, it is so important to nourish the relationships of those that are your day ones, like the ones that never did you nothing wrong. I feel a certain way sometimes, you know. We got certain friends, we got certain family that we don't see as often, or we'll text message and never get together and stuff like that. It goes both ways, I always feel. But it's like, damn, like, if we're brothers or if we're sisters, if I'm your brother or whatever, stuff like that, it's like, I feel like we should have a more closer bond, or we should get together at least once a month or once every, 6 months. And the thing is, like, me and you are the responsibility, though. Mm-hmm. Like, we're the ones that are the most conscious ones. Sometimes people are so caught up in their feelings and their situation that they feel like they can't do more. And so we're going to have to be the ones to, like, initiate, plan, and execute. Because some people don't have it in them, too. Some people are number ones and some are number twos.
Yeah, but I never did get that, because it's like, how hard is it to pick up the phone? Because if I was to be gone tomorrow, you'll be the first one to say, "Oh, I wish heaven had a phone, says I would call you right now." You didn't call when I was alive, bro. You supposedly like my brother, my ride or die, whatever you want to say, but you don't pick up the phone and call like to check on. I'm calling you to check on you. You know what I'm saying? You can't pick up the phone, and how easy it is now. I ain't changed my phone number in 15, 16 years. I've had the same number. So it's like, whether if they're, like you said, if they're getting caught up in whatever they're going through, people have kids, people got situations they trying to get through. They got, people, is trying to better themselves on the daily. So I understand that, but it's just like when it gets to like years without saying anything and y'all live in the same city, it's like, is that person really like your friend at the end of the day? Or y'all a block away from each other, or y'all close, you know what I'm saying? And there's nothing to be said, like, ain't no what's up, how you doing, nothing. Like, where I live, I know where you live. Like, I reach out, no response, or, oh, just hope you've been good, bro. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, you can only reach your hand out so many times. Okay, when your hand gets smacked that fourth time, it's going to be like, okay, I'm going to wait for you to reach out.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be looked at as like a petty thing to do, or however you might look at it. But at the end of the day, it's like, I'm always show love, but bro, like, if it's not reciprocated, okay, it's not reciprocated for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, okay, if you don't fuck with me, just say that, bro. And I know, and I'm not sitting there like, oh, this is my boy, this is woo woo, and you behind my back saying like, oh, I don't fuck with bro, like,
that type of
bro,
stuff.
be hitting my phone all the time, bro. Be a man.
Mm-hmm.
Voice how you really feel, cause I don't got no problems with nobody. I ain't bumping heads with nobody. I don't have time to do that shit. I feel like that shit is childish. But if you don't like me, cool. If you think I don't like you, most likely I don't. If you think I don't like you and you don't like me, okay, I don't like you either. Like, it's no hair off my back. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're grown. Like, I don't have to have you in my life. You don't have to have me in your life. Like, you can live your life without me. It's fine. And people have their own agendas, own reasons. Just like I said earlier, they just in cases. Like, oh, I'm fuck with Juan just in case. Like, platform blows up. That's always been a little weird to me, but it is what it is. You see who really rocking with you when things feel like, things start to settle. You know what I'm saying? When you're popping, now everybody want to hit you up. What's up, bro? What's up? Ooh. But when things are settled and they don't know that you really just catapulting to skyrocket, they don't know that, like, at those low moments when you're loading up, I'm watching like, okay, wherever you are right now, stay where you're at. Keep that same energy. So when I shoot to the top, don't conversate with me, because I'm going to keep the same people. I'm going to still have one. My best friend's still going to be rocking with me. My boy's still going to be rocking with me. My lady's still going to be rocking with me. Some of my family's still going to be rocking with me. It's not going to matter. And it's going to be like, oh, what's up, bro? It's all good. No, it's not all good, bro. Stay where you were at. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why it's so good to be conscious and observant of everything and everybody. You know what I'm saying? You should be critical about everybody that you want to be around you. Because I'm sure, like, with you, like, you're loving, you're more than willing to give advice, help to anybody that comes in contact with you. But when it comes to friends, are you cognizant of, like, what type of people you have around you? Like, on the aspect of, like, not even on a daily basis, but, like, even, like, a weekend of like, hanging out. Are you cognizant of, like, people you have around you?
Yeah, I feel like it's so easy, too, to, like, read the energy. Like, it's so easy to see, like, oh, this person's looking for a benefit, or they're trying to hang out with me because of a status they feel around me or an aura, or there's some type of like benefit they can get. And for me, it's kind of like, you know, I'm very like observant on like how you move, how your actions. Like if you're too much about like me, I feel like there's something off. Like if you're yourself and you don't give a damn about what anybody thinks, like I want to hang out with that person. Like, and I could feel that vibe too. Like they're in their own world, they're vibing, but at the same time they want to, you know, get with everybody around and just socialize and have a great time. Excuse me. But like I don't know, I always, it's so easy. I could read the energy. Like I could read the fine print. I can tell like when something's not right, when something's off. Excuse me. But I can tell, like, you know, like you're a chameleon. There's certain people that just they change up every time with every different type of person. Like for me, I mean, I code switch. You know, I'm not gonna talk. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk to the vice president of my job like somebody like I'm not gonna talk to like I'm not gonna talk to the vice president of my job like how we're talking to you. You know, because that's not professional. Blah blah. Some people just censor themselves. I mean, be honest, I would still talk to the VP just like how I normally would. I would just change certain words, but my intention would still come across. AKA, I don't give a fuck what you think. AKA, I'm going to do what I want to do. AKA, this is my opinion. This is my view. I'm always open to, you know, listen for more. But at the end of the day, you're going to get what you see is what you get. And, like, I'm not going to front, fake, nothing. Like, if I feel a certain way about something, I'm going to say it. If I feel this is wrong, I'm going to say it. If I feel like you're not listening, I'm going to say it. If I'm not listening, I'm also going to say it. I'm going to be like, you know what, you said again, honestly, I wasn't listening. Like, I'm going to own up to my shit. But like how I was saying, like, other than that, like, some people are chameleons. Like, some people just switch up randomly with, like, every single person that they get with. They might change personalities, though. And that's a different thing when you change your personalities. Like, if you're changing the way you're talking to this person to a certain extent of, like, you know, different energy, that's like understandable. But if you're speaking in a way of you're changing the way you actually are with your ideologies and stuff like that because this person believes this and you're changing it to agree with that, can't fuck with that. And I can tell quickly. It's like one of those people that be like, oh yeah, man, I love, like, you know, hot Cheetos. And then another person's like, I hate hot Cheetos. You're like, you know what? Yeah, I don't like those either. Like yeah. Now I'm just kind of like, strange. Yeah, strange. That's kind of weird. But some people are just like so caught up in the world of like good boy, like, you know, bad girl or good girl, bad girl. Like they're so scared of not being liked because they're trying to fit in so much. And school teaches that. The way you were raised teaches that. Your grandma might teach you that. Anybody. And for me, like, I've always been like a young rebel at a super young age. Like I was always getting in fights since I was like born. Like, menace. Like my parents had stories that we used to go to like parties, and I was like fucking 6 years old ever since, and I would fight the other kids like my age or even older than me. Ever since I was a toddler, and they would try to tell me what to do and stuff like that, and I never cared. I don't give a fuck. Like I still don't to this day. That's why at the same time it's like that's what shaped me like who I am. Like I don't give a fuck what you think about me. I don't care how you think about what I do. I don't care if my intentions don't match up with yours. Like at the end of the day, like if I'm doing myself right and I feel like I'm not hurting nobody, then I'm good. But at the same time, I'm conscious too. I gotta be respectful and communicate to the person who I'm with or my friends or my family. If I do something that I'll own up to my shit too. I'm not gonna sit there and just like it's my way or the highway, you know. If I hurt somebody, I'm gonna say something like, you know, that's my fault. I didn't take you in consideration. But at the same time too, it's like, you know, you gotta accept people for who they are. Not saying that to be like I can't change or stuff like that. But it's more like if I'm not hurting you like physically and mentally, but it's an insecurity of yours because you're assuming what I'm doing is this, that's your problem. That's not my problem. If I say I voted for this person or if I don't like this food and you want to get hurt about it, that's your problem. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just my opinion. I'm not trying to be right. I'm not trying to be wrong ever. And I've grown to get away from that because it's conflicted to try to be right or wrong and try to debate. Because for me, I'm not trying to, diminish a person. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to, like, be my authentic self. Because that's all I know. I'm not trying to do anything other than that. And so for me, that's why I speak with intentions. I have my own ideologies. At the same time, I'm a free spirit person. You know what I mean? I should be able to do what I want to do. I'll communicate to you why I did it and why I like this or why maybe I might need this. And you have the option to, accept me for that. And you also have the option to leave that. Because at the end of the day, I don't necessarily need anybody who doesn't accept me for who I am if you limit me. So, like, you should be able to do what you want to do. I should be able to do what I want to do. And if there's a problem or conflict within that, let's talk about it and let's see what we can do. But at the end of the day, I think the worst thing to do is to try to limit, like, somebody. I don't know how I got to this point, me talking about this stuff, but but yeah, like, how do you feel when it comes to feeling like you're in a box, like limitations? Like, it could be whatever comes into your mind when I say that, like, when somebody tries to put you in a box of how they perceive the world, how do you feel about that?
I feel like, as it pertains to, like, me as a person, when someone tells me who I am, when I have a pretty in-depth definition of, like, who I am as a person, and I know me inside and out because I spend a lot of time on my own and by myself. So, and I know throughout time I've strived to be better, because at the end of the day, I don't have to be better. I could choose to be the same person and be a toxic, mean asshole. You feel me? But I'm choosing to do better. I'm choosing to be better, read, learn, fail, fall down, get back up, because that's who I am. Like, quitting is not in my nature. So when someone tells me, oh, you're this, that's putting me into a box. Or you're doing this because of this. Your intentions are this. How are you going to tell me my intentions? How are you going to tell me who I am? You know what I mean? So it rubs me the wrong way. And it, honestly, I don't know if it's my ego, but something about it, like, pisses me off, bro. And it, like, it puts me in like a mood to where, like, I have to defend myself, because, like, I'll hear someone out, I'll listen to a lot of things, but you're not going to tell me about me. You could tell me how they thought something I did may have looked like this, but you're not going to be like, oh, you're this, this, and that, because I know I'm not that, so for me, it's like, I feel it feels almost as disrespectful when someone tells you, like, if I told you, Juan, like, you're an asshole because you do this, this, and this, you're a hypocrite asshole. You'll look at me like, my nigga, I'm not that. Like, woo, like, my intentions for doing this was this reason. Woo. And I keep calling you that regardless of what you say. It's just like, bro, at some point, like, bro, this is disrespectful, because I've communicated to you already my intentions and what I meant by it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one thing that does trigger me too. Is like when I'm trying to speak my mind, and let's say my intentions are this, and somebody tries to tell me, like, my intentions are that or whatever, or this is what they're getting. It irritates me. At the same time, it's like, everybody has, like, their, like, perception of things. But for me, it's kind of like that triggers me, because I'm like, nah, that's not. You're trying to make it seem like it was this, but that's not that. Like, that for me, it's this. Instead of me, like, sometimes I get caught up in that game, which I hate, is like trying to prove myself or like my intentions, stuff like that. And that's why that's the only thing I really try to work on too, is like try to make sure my actions match my words. Sometimes, like, people get something else, but at the same time, it's like everybody's gonna read the same sentence differently. So, like, sometimes you gotta just do your best. And if somebody says, like, if somebody says that this is what they got from what you did, then I got to correct it now. Like, that's my thing. I have to correct it, because that's not true. And I don't want to keep talking about whatever you want to keep going with, knowing that what you're running off is not true, like not my intention or not my idea. And so I cut people off a lot because I'm like, no, like I'll be doing it all the time, like no, that's not what I meant. And they'll be like, well, you don't ever let me finish. Well, why would I let you finish something that's not true? Like you're running off of this idea that's not actually what actually is going on, if that makes sense. Like some people run off of like this idea, and I'm like, that's not what I meant. And so why would I let you waste your time and waste my time listening to this bullshit when it's not really true of the reason why I did what I did, or the reason why I said what I said, or the reason why I acted how I acted. Why would I want you to keep going about how this made you feel, knowing that this isn't what I meant to do? And like, let me express what I meant when I was trying to say this or try to do that. And if you still feel the same way that you do, then we could talk about it. But at the same time too, like, you know, I got to do better too with my intentions and stuff like that and my actions. But, you know, I'm not going to sit here and just keep wasting time talking about something that don't even match. And, yeah, and that's like that's a hard thing for me to do, is to try to listen to somebody that's saying something about me that's not true.
Juan, you're a zebra.
No.
Nigga, what?
Yeah, wait a minute.
Nigga, what are you talking about? I'm a lion. What is you talking about?
King of the goddamn jungle, goddammit.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, but that's some real stuff too. Like, I don't know. I mean, right now, man, I just been trying to, like, I've been struggling. I'm always struggling though, but without struggle, there's no growth. So it's always like, you know what's funny? It's weird. There's certain moments, like in a day or whatever, I feel great. And for some reason, my body and my mind is telling me no. Like, you should feel like something is wrong. Telling me, yeah.
I ain't trying to hurt nobody.
Bruh.
Something else. Okay, I'm fucking with you.
I hate you. Fuck. Oh no, that's what's his name? That's Lil Russell's album too. I think it was something like his latest album is like, I hate when life is going great. And I feel like that's like perfect, because like for me it's like there be certain days where I feel so good and everything's clicking, everything's like perfect, this and that, everything's going my way, my attitude. And then something inside me literally creates anxiety. It's like, nah, something's wrong. Like, something's about to happen. Something's about to happen. You shouldn't feel like this. You gotta prepare, stuff like that. I don't know what it is, but that's like my primal instincts. I always feel like there's something that needs to be worked on, or there's something that I'm lacking, or hey, you're falling into bad habits again. Like, hey, you need to start to do something. You gotta change the routine. Like, I'm never satisfied. Never. And I feel like it's a good thing, right? But sometimes I'm like, damn, I wish I was just like a family man. But I'm starting to realize, like, I don't think I am. Like, I kind of relate to Drake to a certain extent. Like there's certain things where I just don't feel like I'm not a white picket fence guy. Like, you know, suburban neighborhood, got a 2002 Corvette. And you got your little dogs, and you got like a family of 4. Like, maybe it's just because of the moment that I'm in right now at this age or whatever, the mindset. But I feel like that's not my destiny. That's not my calling or my fulfilling. At the same time, I still don't know what that is too. Like, I'm always trying to figure something out. I'm trying to figure out like what is the real thing I really want to do. That's fulfilling for me. Like, is it a family? Is it my woman? Is it this career, this and that? It's kind of like I'm just trying to figure it out, and I'm just trying to do shit. Like, the worst thing to do is just to think all day. You know, if you think all day, you're not getting nothing done. So at the same time, like, just keep moving, like keep going and like figuring it out. And if you're not feeling this, if you don't think it's gonna benefit you, then switch it up. Like, you know, start from scratch, something like. But as long as you keep going, you'll figure something out. And I feel like that's what got me this far too, is like, just keep trying shit. Keep trying to, you know, figure out whatever that is, that calling. Because I remember like struggling in the bedroom, crying, not knowing what to do when I was super younger, and like being so depressed, like devastated, empty, like no hope. To not, I just still remember those moments like in my mind and in my heart. I could feel it, like those times where I wanted to give up or I didn't know what to do, and I feel like everything was just like the pressure, like the collapse was like on to me. And then to be like to where I am now is like, a great thing. It's kind of like you thought you were at your worst at that moment to then being here at you are where you are now, where you are like content. You just want more now. There was a moment where you didn't have nothing and you didn't even know what you wanted, or you didn't even have the things that you did like or want or whatever. To then now you have options of what you want to do. It's like a beautiful thing. It's like there's now I'm blessed with a lot of good things, but I always want more. So I'm trying to find out, what the hell is that? What's the more? Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
So so as of right now in your life, considering everything that's going on in work, with your family, or what you got going on, what point in your life do you feel like that you're hitting on right now? What point do you feel like, what phase you think you're coming into? Because I feel like, about me personally, I feel like, before this, my past rookie season, before, and especially, this last, 6 months, I feel like I'm in a phase to where it's like the easiest to quit. So I seen a quote that says, when it's the easiest to quit is when you should work the hardest, because you're the closest to your goals that you've ever been. So I feel like I'm in that kind of space, and I feel like I was telling you earlier, this is where I'm about to catapult and skyrocket. So I feel like I'm at a low point to shoot up. So I feel like the last months and months and months on end, where I've kind of like, God's had showed me like, this ain't your friend. This ain't your friend. This ain't your family member. This is your family member, but keep them at space. You know what I mean? And it kind of just, God is guiding me in a way, that is leading me to be the person that I'm supposed to be, that I know I can be. So when I see certain stuff and certain stuff is revealed to me after I already prayed for God to reveal certain things to me, that's when I feel like stuff is aligning. So I'm like, you know what? Yeah, you can't be in my life because I want to go skyrocket over here and you're staying right here. You know what I mean? You may be up here right now and I may be down here, but when I go to the stars, I don't want to hear you saying, oh, well, that's my cousin. That's my uncle. That's this, that's that. Because at the end of the day, like, are you really supporting me? Are you really there? Are you really helping my situation or my family at all? No? Okay, then keep it pushing. Are you really showing love for nothing in return? Okay, bro, keep it pushing. I don't want to hear from you when you want to be on the podcast, bro. I don't want to hear from you when you want to get something like free training or anything like that. Like, if I hear from you out of the kindness of your heart, cool. But I just feel like once you come with that ends of like, oh, I need something from you. Hey, how are you doing? But I need something. It's like you didn't really come to me for that. You know what I mean? So for you, what area do you think that you're coming into right now in your life?
Yeah, that's a great question. I like the way you put it, though. Damn, I was kind of caught up in what you were saying, like that moment that you're down, but you're like your time and things are showing you like when you're gonna catapult. Damn, that's a good. It got me thinking about like, damn, is that the spot that I'm in? But I do feel like that. I feel like I'm starting to tap into letting go of every limitation and to let go of like everybody's like ideologies, like, because I feel like I was raised to a certain extent to believe this, believe that, and do this and do that. And I feel like more and more I'm starting to like tap into my true self with whatever the hell that means. So like I feel like I'm tapping into like, I've been trying to look into like closing my relationship with God, accepting myself for who I am for at this moment, but at the same time communicating that as well. knowing, I'm starting to know what I don't want, which is like one of the best things. Because sometimes people have too many options and people don't know really what they want to do and stuff like that. I think I'm starting to, like, you don't know who you are until you know what you're not. So I'm figuring out what I want to do by knowing what I don't want to do. And so I'm starting to eliminate the conflicts that I would have in my head, or other people would tell me that, hey, you'll be good for this, you'll be good for that. And I'm like, you know what, maybe you're right. Let me look. Like, I'm starting to realize, you know, what is my calling? And like, I feel like my calling is just speaking about my own experience, living my life, being so honest, and not to get away from myself. Like, really just speak from the heart, do things from the heart. Don't do things based off of a script or from what people want to hear. Like, basically being my true self is what's going to show me what I really want. Like, making my own decisions. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, I've been doing that ever since I was young, yeah, but I felt like I was always limited to a certain extent, whether it was because what happened to me in the past, or things that happened to me in the past, or events that I've seen, my family, friends, relationships, stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. I think I'm starting to unravel. Like, I'm trying to like break every chain, basically. Like, I'm getting to the point where every chain is off. The only chain that I have left is just myself, like my doubt, or me falling into temptations of like short gratification of doing this instead when I should be doing that. So like, everything is starting to like come into fruition of seeing the clear path and like removing the cobwebs and stuff like that, removing the stuff on the road. I'm starting to see things way more clear. But at the same time, like how you said, like, it makes perfect sense. I'm at a down though. Like, I'm not like sad or nothing. I'm not depressed. I'm not none of that right now. But I'm more of like, shit, man. Like, I need to, like, you know, am I where I need to be right now? Or like, I'm kind of confused with where I'm at, and I don't know what side of the road I'm on. But at the same time, I'm on the road though. So yeet. So right now it's like, there's something that is like, I feel is cooking up. Like, I don't know. I feel like something is like manifesting. Something is gonna come about. And so that's why I'm like, just keep going. Like, keep working this job that you really don't want to work at. Keep nursing these relationships. Keep going to these parties, even though I'm tired, even though I don't feel the best. Keep doing these things that is so hard to do. Keep staying up late doing these things. Keep investing this time in that, because it's going to pay off. So I'm just like, just keep doing it. Keep doing grinding. Keep doing it. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And what bad can come from grinding? Keep grinding. Keep going. Because the only thing that is guaranteed is the results from quitting. You know what's going to happen when you quit. You know what's going to happen when you rack the weight, when you know you could have did 10 more. You know the result from walking away from stuff because it was difficult, but you could have got through it. You quit. That is 100% failure. But if you keep going and you grind, you find limits that you never knew that you could hit. You feel what I'm saying? So you pushing through, this is going to push you to a whole nother level. Like, yeah, you know, that job might not be the end all be all, but now you're like, man, I use this as a stepping stone to get to my next level. And now I'm there. I have a different perception of this level that I'm at. You know, maybe I wasn't ready 6 months ago when I was in that place, but now I'm ready to go into this next level, and God is going to guide you. You feel what I'm saying? So, as long as you keeping, you know, him in your thoughts and praying for guidance and moving in a way with pure intentions, like, you're going to get to that next level. It's just a matter of when, because it's going to happen. You know what I mean? And when it does, like, you know, we both got to be ready. You feel what I'm saying? Because not only is it going to come with, you know, the money, but it's going to come with fame too. And both those things can change people for better or for worse. So we want to make sure that we keep our foundation on who we are, what type of person we are, our integrity, regardless of what's in front of us. Because you never know. Tomorrow we can get a check. Like, boom, we want you guys to come do the podcast on our platform for $800,000 for the next 2 years. You know what I mean? You never know where that's gonna place us. So we need to align ourselves with our morals, where we stand as men before we get there. Because as you've told me plenty of times, how you are right now is how you're gonna be when you get your goals, or when you get the bread, or when you get the fame, or whatever. How you are right now is how you're gonna be when you get to that, because you're only gonna get more busier. So if you're a lazy person right now, you're gonna be lazy when you get the bread and when you get all the fancy cars and stuff and like that. You know what I mean? How are you gonna be? So it's saying a lot, you know, considering where we're at and what we're doing and how we're moving, because it's hard to move that way. It's hard to move with integrity. It's hard to be, you know, it's hard, but it's not. But it's hard to, you know, be super loyal to your girl. It's hard to, you know, be loyal with your platform. It's hard to put out content. It's hard to do things when there's not an income. You know what I mean? Like it's hard. You know what I mean? But we know what our intentions for things are. We know why we're doing things, and that's what's driving us to the next level. If we would have said after 3 months, we're not making money for it, fuck the podcast, where would that have left us? We would have never knew we would have been able to hit 10K. We would have never knew we would have been able to hit 5K on IG. You know what I'm saying? We would have never knew about, you know, all people that needed to hear our platform. But because we kept pushing and we kept driving, we had that thought and that drive. Like, we've got to another level because of what we knew we could already do. So why not have so high expectations that it's like, damn, I don't know if we're going to be able to reach that in the next year, 2 years. But if we reach it in a year and 2 months, we still hit our goal. It just took us too much longer. You know what I'm saying? So we got to just keep pushing and shoot for the stars and see where we land.
Yeah, man. Fuck, man. I was thinking about that right now too. It's like the last few years too. I've went through almost every single emotion, like going on this path. I remember like before these last 2 years, I was like what I felt like on an incline. I was like reading all the books. I was listening to all the podcasts. I was doing this. I was doing that. Perspective was changing almost every single day. And then there was a moment where I made a decision. I was like, hey man, like, you know, today's the day when you accept that you're going to ask yourself for more and raise the standards for yourself. And ever since that day, like 2 years ago, I went through every single emotion since that. Like, I even told myself, like, hey, I want God, I want the world to show me, the universe or myself to show me all the things that I need to break, all the habits, all the issues, all the trauma, I want to face all of it. And God damn, if God did this to me, he showed me like these last few years, like literally dealing with every single thing and every single thought and emotion I've been hiding or like suppressing for years. Last 2 years have been the hardest years of my life. But in a good way that I would never want to take it back. Like, it has showed me so many lessons and so many perspective and so many things that I've been hiding for years. You know, I'm 27, just turned 27. These last 2 years have literally exposed me to everything I've been hiding away from. Like all my traumas, all the things I would avoid, dodge, I wouldn't, you know, bring to life. I couldn't look at the man in the mirror. Like, all these things I would try to justify, whatever. Like, now dealing with that, all that stuff, and like going through all the you know, the crying, the frustration, the being stagnant, being comfortable, not doing nothing about it. Everything has like brought into light, and you have to feel all these emotions. Like, I have felt all the emotions that I try to hide away. Ever since I turned 21, you know, I've always had something to like rely on. So I started smoking weed when I was 9 years old. After smoking weed at 9 years old, it went from when I turned 18, I started drinking. So ever since I turned 18 to, I think, the year of 2020, I took a break from alcohol, and that really exposed myself to everything because I had no stimulant and I had nothing to put my emotions in, something to distract me. And so when I stopped drinking alcohol, when I stopped smoking weed for that time, I went through all the emotions that have been inside of me that was being suppressed with alcohol and marijuana. So taking all that stuff out and starting to deal with all that trauma, all these issues, my relationships, what I feel like I should be doing, the things that I was paying attention to that really didn't mean nothing if I were to pass away tomorrow. Like, all those things came into light, and it was because I asked for it too. Like, I kind of accepted it. I was like, hey, man, if I want to get to that next level, if I want to make the biggest impact in the world, if I want my family to say the things that I want them to say by my actions and stuff like that, I got to change all these habits. I got to face the music. And that was the most hardest things that I've ever done. The last 2 years have been like the most roller coaster ever. You've seen it firsthand, to things that happened to my lady, myself, my family, my own scares, my own health scares, like fear of this and that, and to go through every single emotion. I feel like I would never take that back, because I could have kept on, doing all these other things that would distract me, and I would be like, like a zombie, like a lot of people that you see like in the streets. People are just programmed. I had to take myself off that program to realize all the suppressing that's been actually holding me back. Yeah, it got me, going, just surviving every day. But I feel like when you take everything away from you and you stay in the cold or you be uncomfortable, that really determines your character. Like, can you survive when all these emotions that you've been trying to suppress with all these other things, or relationships or sex or all the drugs, whatever? If you take all that stuff away, I think everything that you needed to be exposed to gets exposed, and you learn and get better from it. Some people will fold, though. That's not an easy thing to do. Some people, that's too much pressure, but I'm built for that. So, like, that stuff, well, actually, it showed me I'm built for that after overcoming it. So all that stuff really showed me that I'm way more capable than what I think I am.
Facts. We are more capable of what we think we are. You know what I mean? Like, if you think that, if you try out for the football team, you're going to get cut, you're right. If you put forth effort, you might have made that team. If you feel like you're in that 1%, you feel like you can be an inspiration and make an impact in the world, you can. It's going to be work, but you can. So it's just a matter of taking those steps forward and actually making your actions lean towards your calling. If that's your calling and you want to be that, lead in every day towards that goal. But yeah, we all have greatness within us. As we've talked about in other podcasts, we have greatness within us, and it's up to you if you want to illuminate that or if you want to dim it. If you sit around and smoke weed all day and don't do anything about your greatness, it's going to diminish. But if you find what makes you, what makes your soul on fire, and you chase that, then you're going to be capable of great things. But I feel like that's going to wrap it up for this episode. I feel like you said some great things. I said some great things in this podcast, and I think that's going to be it for this one. You have anything you want to say to them?
No, I'm good. That was a lot.
Yeah. We appreciate you guys, and like we say every week, we're going to keep growing, and we're going to keep coming out with content and episodes for you guys, and we love you guys to death. So we will see you guys next week on Self-Revelation Podcast.